It's the pipe. The pipe is fixed and it's fixed properly and it's done very well.
Thank you guys, Eric Hatch here, and excited for you guys to be here. And I'm going to basically kind of going from the class that we had talked about on Wednesday and some of last week on Friday is to continue moving into systems. So a lot of people on that Select Success asked me and said, hey, what are some of the things that you guys actually use? And I tweaked a bunch more things, added some more things. So those who have been on here before, I've added some more stuff. There's about 5 or 6 more things that we've been working with as well, but I don't want to share them until I see the fruits of the labor, let's say, because I've done a lot of stuff and I'm going to share the things that have worked with me on this. Again, I'm not promoting any of this as far as like, hey, hey, you must do this, or, please do, or, I have no affiliations with any of these type of individual people. But I just want to share what I use, and then that if they help you, that's great. Some of these cost money, some of these are free, but they're great systems that I like. So again, if you guys haven't connected with me, please, there's a QR code right there. You can subscribe to channels. Make sure on YouTube that you actually put and click the little bell, so then that when things new come and then I produce some new material, that you'll get notified on that too. But feel free to watch the Instagram and Facebook and all the reels and everything, because it's pretty great. Looks like I think I got my social media manager on here today, Jessica, so you can ask her a question as well. All right. So I'm going to leave it on the smaller screen. Hope that's okay, because I've got all these tabs open that I want to share a bunch of stuff. Dependable. We talked about this Wednesday. Dependable, duplicable, disciplined, and sustainable success. So what are your systems and how are your systems? Some of you guys might be brand new. Some of you guys, are a little bit more seasoned, and you might want to see kind of what you got. I joined a group yesterday. It was a referral group. So make sure you're going on Facebook and joining referral groups and agent groups. And boy, there was a lot of comments and things in there that were interesting. You could say, what's your best CRM? What's your best way to get leads? And because a lot of times we get so many phone calls about people want to sell us stuff. And I'm not going to mention some of the negative news that I heard last night, but there was a lot of negative news on one particular company, which I don't really care for either. So it was kind of, it helps you build and understand. So don't be afraid to go put a question in there and go, hey, somebody's trying to sell me this on these leads. Should I go ahead and do it? What are your guys' thoughts? And then you'll get a bunch of people giving you comments of success stories or not great stories. So I always have a good morning routine. Time management's really important to me. CRM system, I know that the company is providing you guys a CRM system. How many people, I probably can't see everybody, but how many people are using the company's CRM system? If you could just raise hands or throw a thing. So we got a yes, a yeah, okay, good. Because the company provides those for you. And so please utilize the CRM system. I use one different one than the company uses, only because I have been using it for a long time, and I really enjoy it. But I wanted to share this with you on this is that I wanted to share on yours. Make sure that you guys have, because you can actually do it, but there's a lot of templates, and I want you guys to build in. So just because we have a CRM, or just because we utilize these systems, you and we, and I'm throwing me totally as well, is that including the MLS, is that we need to learn the systems. We literally, I promise you that we only utilize probably 20 to 50% of the system that is provided. And make sure you guys go back and look at your updates, but utilize what I'm going to share and show today, that I can go to a template and I can actually put all these templates right here that I've created. Some of them are actually there that you can start with. You could do AI ones, but here's one that's a welcome to, thank you so much for finding me online. Just want to put a face to a name. We're going to be sending out some more information. Please review my seller testimonial video down below, so you can see my marketing video that I have, my Yelp reviews that I have. So these are all set and ready to go. You can go erase plans for 2023, but now you can actually quickly just email them something really quick and have it done with a video in place. You're going to probably see a lot of these other ones in here that will say, what's next? What's next? And so now that we got our offer accepted, what's next? And so it's it saves me a lot of time, that I don't have to go recreate another video, that I can just share with them kind of what we're doing. So critical on that is just use your CRM, spend that time to get you know, those templates set up for you, and it's going to take forever. I mean, it does. I have so much more templates that I need to do and put together, but you just do them one at a time, one at a time. All right. So I don't know if you guys are using Google Slides and Sheets, but I'm going to share what I do on these. I cannot live without my Drive. It is critical important to me, as it won't load right here, which, okay, there we go. So you just have everything in just files, folders, be organized. I've got, thank you, Jessica, and I've got my full-on marketing outline plan that we're doing. You can see that we've got what's next, what's coming in March, what's coming in April, what, you know, what events that I'm doing, what lead generation mail outs that I'm doing that are all in here. What do I need to do next month to get ready for next month, you know, for invites and, you know, things. So you need to have a plan in place, not just go, hey, you know what, it's, you know, because if you guys haven't noticed, it's January 26th. So, you know, how'd your January go? So it's like they go by so fast. I cannot believe that we're 11 months away from Christmas again. This is great. So, you know, we got to look at that and make sure that you're having a plan in place. So that's important. I drop in, well, they're taking a little bit longer to load here. I drop in my current escrows. I drop in, you know, have sheets that I can see. So if I'm at a tour, let's say I'm at a tour meeting and they say any upcoming listings that you coming, now I can, you know, I like, oh, what was that listing? I'm quickly texting the, like, what was that person's address? And now you can stand up and have it on your form and say, I've got one on Sutter coming, I got one on Tamwood, I got one in Kangaroo, I got one on River. So you can actually let them know. And if you got a generalized price point, you can put that in and fill in all the square footage. So that way, if somebody comes up after the meeting and asks you those questions, then you've got those. And then you've got your, you know, the closed escrows, which is super important to say, are they a buyer, are they seller, where'd they come from, what title company they were, what the price is, and that type of stuff as well. So I'm going to erase a couple of these here to get me some more bandwidth, I think, because we're getting a little bit, it looks like it's lagging a little bit. All right, so that's important. So make sure, you know, you utilize and have those systems set up in place. We'll let Kim in. All right, so the next thing that I love is video. I'm going to share a little bit about BombBomb. Again, I'm not promoting them. Loom is free, but it takes a little bit harder to do a video, save the video, put it in a, you know, put it into a, you know, send it to an email. BombBomb is my very favorite. You can spend a lot of money on BombBomb or just a small membership. BombBomb allows you to have this prompt, which I believe it's $1,500 a year, that allows you, and it puts all these campaigns and videos that you know, different things for holidays and stuff, which is okay. I generally use it because it integrates to Gmail. I can actually go on, I can record a video, I can go in and it saves your videos, it saves your emails, it saves your contacts in here. So I can have probably going to lag a little bit here. So it usually goes much quicker, but it like will show all my videos and everything, what I've actually done, so that you can save these videos. It's all like in a library. You can put them in different folders. I can actually send something to Dana, and Dana then actually sees that I can see that Dana opened it. She's watched it. And so all of the emails that I basically have in my templates are all kind of just saved into BombBomb, and it just kind of integrates everything. So obviously it's not going to show my videos, but it will and won't. But anyway, there's emails and all the emails and videos that I actually sent, but it's a really cool system. It really is. I think you'll really enjoy it. And I don't know what the general monthly without prompt is, but just having that, I won't live without BombBomb. And I'm going to erase that because it's going to be lagging too. So BombBomb's really important. And the things that I do, and this is a slide I shared on Wednesday, and feel free to interrupt me anytime, you guys. It's all totally fine. So somebody had mentioned what I do with how I set myself apart a little bit on these videos. For instance, there's a lot of times where if I get an offer and Jim's my seller and I go, Jim, you know, I've got this offer, and then I send it over to Jim, and then Jim calls me up, and then I have to spend, which is okay, I spend 20 minutes going over, trying to get on where he's on page one, I'm on page one. Okay, let's go through on the phone. Okay, do you see now where are you at? Oh, okay, no, scroll back up. Do you see paragraph 13? Oh yeah, that's what this means. Okay, now scroll down to paragraph. No, oh, you got lost in the video. Okay, you can't find it. So you're struggling trying to go over, an offer and let you, you certainly can do it in person if you wish. But this morning, literally 5 minutes before we got on this morning, that I jumped on, I recorded a video, and I just jumped on and recorded it. I put 3 screens. I put their proof of funds. I put their approval letter, and I stuck their offer. And I record. It took me 5 minutes. I just went through the whole entire offer. What this is paragraph here. This is paragraph this. Here's paragraph 6. Here's what this means. Here's what liquidated damage means. Here's what wire fraud means, because I go over a little bit higher. And I'm actually sharing my video with them. Just, here's my little picture. BombBomb Loom allows you to put your photo up here if you want. If you don't want your video, because there's sometimes I'm seriously recording the video in bed and I'm like, don't put that on there, or it's in the morning or whatever it is. You don't have to have your picture on there. It's just nice that they can see you. I do it in my living room. I do it in the office. I've done it in hotel rooms, wherever it is. And I recorded that video to the lady and I said, here's the offer. And I already spoke to her, told her it was coming. And then now I just go DocuSign it. She probably 99%, they never call me up and ask me any question. I just DocuSign it a few minutes later. They sign it and they send it to me. They actually usually text me and say, Eric, thank you so very much for doing that video, because now I can watch it over and back and forth and whatever it is. It saves you so much time just to be able to record it and be done and be over. I do that with listing agreements too. I'll go over a listing agreement. I'll say, this is what our listing agreement is. Here's the compensation. I make sure you tell them that, because you got in California, you got listing compensation of like 6% up here and 3% down here. Make sure they don't think it's 9. So that's the one biggest question that they'll call me and say, is that 9%? They go, no, that's just total of 6. Not the 3 is for the other agency. So I do is what I love this one. You probably can see on the bottom right. I actually do this one. If you want to do a full on CMA, like if you've been in the home, like I'm going to a house today, later this afternoon, that the neighbors let me in, and the owners live in Santa Barbara. So I probably will never meet them, but this is an opportunity for me to record a video. They see my personality. They kind of go through. I'm sharing comparables and stuff regarding properties. And this is huge. It's so huge. I use that for face-to-face, but I also then will go up to the MLS and the Metro List, if those who have Metro List, and I'll put 3 screens when I have a current listing. And every week I want to give them a market update, or definitely every 2 weeks. May not be every week, depends on the demand of that seller. But generally 2 weeks, I go on about a Thursday or Friday and said, here's your new market update. And I will show them 3 screens. I put the actives, the pendings, and the solds of the last time I did it. So 2 weeks, 2-week period of time. Here's everything that went pending the last 2 weeks. Here's everything that went sold in the last 2 weeks. Now, you want to be careful that I don't show them the agent copies, because I don't want them to pause and see that, let's say Jim sold 4 of the houses, and all of a sudden, wow, or Jim's got 6 of the houses listed, and it's like, well, maybe I better switch with somebody else or whatever. So I go to the galley. There's a little galley one, and it just shows the 3 or 4 pictures, and that's all I show them. And I don't log in, don't go deeper on them. Maybe I might go show a picture or 2 if I feel like I need to. But what's really interesting on that is I found that for me to call up Jim or Dana or anyone in Amber and say, you know what, your house isn't selling, we need to do a price adjustment, what do you say? It's difficult because they have no data. But now I show them the data and say, look, here are 3 new homes that just came on the market that are under your value of your price. Here are 0 solds, or here is the 2 pending that just went pending in the close. And then I'll say, I recommend that we do a $10,000 adjustment, because based on this data. About 10 minutes later, to maybe actually this morning, I got one signed. I send the video, and then they call me and they go, hey, yeah, let's do a $10,000 adjustment. They'll text me. I'll say, great. I send a DocuSign, got one signed this morning. I don't have to have that super hard conversation where some people might be going, I don't really want to ask them to reduce the price. I usually call it a price adjustment, because it is. It's, did we miss it? Where are we at? Here's the data, and the data won't lie. So, and if they ignore me, then at least I have documentation that I've been asking them to do some price adjustment. So that somebody asked me on Wednesday to go a little bit more in detail. So I just wanted to share that that's what I basically do. I love doing this too. I send offers out to people. So if I get an offer on Dana's listing, I will do a video and I will say, Dana, this is Eric Hatch. And maybe I don't know Dana. So Dana doesn't know me. So and Dana might have 4 offers on the property. And I'm also CCing my escrow officer. I'm CCing my lender that might be on Dana's, that is representing my buyer. So then they can actually reach out to Dana too and say, hey, this is, Amelia, that, they're great, they're pre-approved and da-da-da. So I'm going through the offer. I don't spend a ton of time. I just spend maybe about a minute and a half. Before I show them the price, I sit right here on the agency. I explain who my buyer is, where they're coming from, because I'm doing basically just an introduction. They want to know where the people are coming from. That way, when the seller says, hey, Dana, where are these people coming from? And Dana says, I don't know. So this gives Dana more information for her to say, oh yeah, they're coming from the Bay Area, and they've got 3 kids, and they've got their mom that lives here too. And so you can kind of give them a little bit more information. You're building a picture visually versus just sending them over Dana an offer and say, hey Dana, I just sent you over an offer. Call me if you have any questions. So pro tip, if those who are brand new, if you do email an offer to someone, make sure you call them or text them and say, just wanted you to know I've got an offer sent over to you. Because there's times where I'll send an offer over to somebody that I've had in the past, and then a day and a half later, hey, just checking, anything, feedback on that offer? What offer? I didn't see it. I'm going, well, I emailed it to you at 4 o'clock, and they go, oh, I'm so sorry, I missed it. So I always just pro tip on that one. I definitely use Zoom. I love, 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 love Zoom. So if you want to do Zoom, go for it. If you hate Zoom, whatever, but get used to it, because people know what you look like. They know what you sound like. But I do Zoom meetings. I shared that on Wednesday. I do one-on-ones with buyers, sellers. I've got a seller interview. She called 6 agents. That's the one I'm going to see today. She's narrowed down to 3 invites to come to the house. She lives in Santa Barbara. So how do you set yourself apart? It's by video. And so that's the one I shared on Wednesday, that I was at Costco and I just did a video, and I was just like, hey, I just got your invoice. It was like 9 at night. Last night I speeded the lead. I called somebody else and goes, wow, I can't believe you already called me that quickly. And now I'm going to go see their house tomorrow morning. So, you just speeded the lead on those. So now with her, I'm going to say, I've already prepped her and said, let's jump on Zoom. Let's get on a Zoom. Now, maybe no other agent even brought that up to her. Now, when I go to the house, I'm actually going to be going through the house. I'm going to be recording my screen, walking through the house with her, because I'm not there together. And I'm going to be going, hey, check out this right here. I just wanted you to show, we probably should maybe paint this wall, or we should probably remove this, change this furnishing. So I'm going to be recording that as I'm going through, because all the other agents, what would they might do? They might just call and say, yeah, here's your price evaluation of $500,000. But I took the time to stand out, be different, show why I'm different, to try to maximize the opportunity to generate a sale here. So that is what I want to say there. And I know my wife the other day says, you just speak way too fast, but just keep up, okay? I'll slow down. All right, okay. If you guys aren't using ChatGTP, please go use it. I have a whole class on this one too. There's Keywords Everywhere, which is a extension that you can add into ChatGTP. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but you can see the K right here is for keeping current, or keywords everywhere. You want to turn this off when you're not utilizing the or if you're not utilizing the function, because in the keywords everywhere, it actually will go in and tell me what the keywords, what people are searching for and seeking. So if you want to get into like what keywords, hashtags, whatever that you want to use, it's awesome. Okay. But if I have it on all the time, that's great. But you see, it does charge you these credits. So you've got credits that it charges you, and they're super cheap. They're like 3 cents a piece credit. I mean, it's really, really cheap. So if I wanted to go to Florida and I wanted to say, or like, what, top real estate agent, or what they're searching for, or what people are looking for, then I can see what the top rating, which one shows up. And then I can do some analytics on that and actually kind of put that in some of my advertisement. But what I want to share with those who are people who are using ChatGTP is, when you do have keywords and you have it turned on, look what happens over on keywords. You have these templates that pop up over here, which are insane. And so these templates actually will come up, and it's a free version. I don't pay extra for the Chat GTP, but when you have these templates, you actually can come in here, and it's actually talks about and it's the realtor, so like copyright, marketing, SEO, professionals. So you go to professionals, and then it will come down, you get to realtors right there. And now look at all these templates. I could do a cold email, listing writer, buyer preparation, real estate directory. But I love the social media SEO stuff, because I could come in here and say, hey, I want a social media one. I can jump in here and say, I want to do something on Instagram right now, and I want to select a template. Here's like an Instagram caption, Instagram post calendar. You can put a whole entire complete calendar put together on this. So add that. You just basically go in on your Google, and you let me just tell this person I'll text him back. Go onto Google, add this keywords in under an extension. There's like, you can see this cute little thing right here. Just Google extensions if you want. Go into your Google Drive or Google in your Google business, and just say, add that extension into your Gmail and stuff. And so look for that template. And so the Chat GTP, most of the time that I use this is right here, and I use it for descriptions of houses and putting description to homes together. And I have a whole bunch of templates and promotional kind of stuff that actually, it's another class that we could do as well, that adds like prompt this, prompt this, prompt this, and you can build out your whole entire social media calendars and stuff, which is amazing. So that is what I use on that. So, ChatGTP, keywords everywhere. And if you have any,
Eric,
yes, please go right
can
ahead.
I ask you 2 questions on this?
Yes. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Please ask away.
Okay, so number 1, you are not using the paid version of ChatGPT.
No, I'm not.
So it still gives you up-to-date information with the keywords.
Yes, it does. Actually, it's surprising. They tell you on the non-paid version that it's like 2 or 3 years old, or like it can't keep up. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, we just did an amazing, Jessica, the other Jess is on here too, that we just did a really cool, wonderful, like, for our newsletter. Tell me the 10 things to do in winter in and around Auburn, California. And it actually popped them up with actually some of their little links. Their websites weren't quite right. So then we kind of redid it. But we're actually pleasantly surprised of statistical stuff. ChatGTP, reminder for my class last year up in Summit, it gets you about 90% there. You have to kind of fix and tweak some other things, but I feel pretty confident about it. I haven't at this moment felt that I needed to pay any extra money for anything quicker or anything like up to date. So I'm good. Do you have the paid version, or do you have the free version?
I just have the free version. I've looked into the paid one, but I for $20 a month, I figured it'd be just as easy to Google the stuff that I needed to update that. My second question for you is, are you teaching your Chat GPT class again at Summit this year?
Undecided yet. I probably would. It probably would be really quite fun because there's so much new stuff, but it's almost one of those ones that you just need to like almost have like a class where you're like, okay, ready, get your computers out, let's go. But I probably will. It sounds kind of fun. I definitely know we're doing the new client one and all this new wonderful stuff we're doing for client retention. That's the first day, but I haven't really put together. Jody, I usually teach 2 classes, one on your 3 actually. So let's see what she asks me to do, but that probably would be a fun one. Would you like to see it again, Jess? Okay, good. All right, perfect. All right. Thank you for that question. And feel free, guys, please interrupt anytime. You're not interrupting. We're collaborating. We're working together. Okay. So this one, if you guys haven't heard of Bitly, it's free. If you want to find a place to go do your QR codes and your links, it's totally right here. It's Bitly. Basically what you do is, because like if I want to send a presentation, like on this cloud CMA, for instance, if I say copy link, which is like a super long blah, 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 blah link, and I go paste that in my email, do I think Amber's going to go click on that when it might look a little scary? So I go into Bitly and I actually, change it up. So here's my cloud CMA. So now instead of the blah, 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 it just says 13783 Lake Wildwood, Elder Drive, Courtney, Bell Road valuation, Table Meadow. And so you can make it look like, oh, it looks more believable and more presentable and more professional. Like, oh, look, I'm going to go get my Bell Road evaluation right here. I'm going to go get my silver. So do you see what I'm talking about? Instead of like, this is really what the link looks like. See all these down below? It's crazy. I'm not going to send that to a client and say, open this up and go look at this 1, 2, 3, 4 billion thing. So it's interesting. I know it's just sets you a little apart. It's a little bit different. What's nice though is you actually can, there's some of these in here that are saved from a long time ago that are Eric's marketing, why choose Eric Hatch, and their links. I love it really for the QR code as well. So just having the free QR codes, it does have a B for Bitly in there. Do I care? No, I don't. You can pay the version to get rid of the B, and you probably could put like an H or Hatch or something. You could probably customize it, but I don't. So this one's free. Use it all the time. It's important just something to make it look a little bit more professional. This Glide, anybody have heard of Glide? I can't see everybody anymore, but Glide is, I love, love, love Glide. I believe it might be $35. I can't remember. Maybe it's free. I can't remember what it is, but it's pretty inexpensive or free. Glide basically is this. So Jessica lists her house with me, and now I have to deal with all these disclosures and fill all these disclosures out. I would love to go hang out with Jessica and spend 5 hours doing, disclosures and filling them out individually and checking this box and checking that box just because it's Jessica. But I may not want to do that with everyone. And do I have time to do that with everyone? The answer is really no. You want to, you're generating, business. You want to kind of do it quick. If I only have one buyer and one seller and that's all I have, I probably would come over and say, hey, I have some time. And that way you can at least go through it together. But what I do is here's Glide, which basically is a free version. Make sure you tell your client not to pay because they try to upsell you like some liability insurance. It's $99. Only had one elderly lady that kind of did that once. And then I called the company up and said, hey, she did that on a mistake, and they refunded her money, which was fine. But Glide takes your TDS and your SPQ, and they actually then takes it, you can send it to them, and then they'll actually be able to fill all that out on Glide, and they can sit there and they just say yes and no questions, yes, this, that. And if they have a question, I always tell them, hey, I'm sending this over to you, and please don't pay for anything extra. And also, if you have a question about anything, just hit the flag agent and it will automatically email me, and it'll say, hey, I don't know, what should I put on this? It's so nice because it's all typed in there nicely. It's all overflowed nicely. It's nicely, the check boxes are clean. It's not, if you want to see my writing and I'm writing, there's so many TDSs I've had in the past where I cannot read. What did that say about the roof leak? You just can't read it. So Glide is a free service. I believe it's free. It's really awesome. It's beautiful. And then what I do then is when I get those back, then I go on to BombBomb and I actually take all the disclosure. My transaction coordinator puts it all together. I go on there, I save them on my computer, and I go through over every single thing in regards to, here's all the TDS and SBQ that you already filled out. So we're just sending this to you here, but here is all of your SP, all the other statewides and carbon monoxide stuff and water flow device stuff. And I kind of go over it with them and just go over it. And guess what happens? That one's a little bit longer. That's sometimes an 8 to 10 minute video. I get it done. I send it over to them, and now we send a DocuSign, and I spend 8 to 10 minutes, and I don't have to spend any more time, and it gets done. They sign it, they send it back to me. So it's great. So could I probably get on a recording and generically record a set of disclosures that aren't super customized to that person's house? Probably could, but I think things are just so customized. I rather have it completely in there so they can see it. So I do a recording every time with a new buyer, new seller for disclosures, and send them. And I do that with the buyer too. If I represent Amber's listing and my buyer is buying Amber's house, and I put together, and Amber sends me all the disclosures, I literally go, hey, I text them, I'm sending you over the disclosures. Call me if you have any questions, but I'm sending you a video. The video explains all the disclosures, goes everything. 99% of the time, I send over the DocuSign. They sign it without even having a question even answered. So that's just saves me time. These are all guys saving time so you can go on and close a lot of deals. All right. Zip forms, obviously everybody probably utilizes zip forms. There is a class on zip forms. If you haven't really done your templates, pro tip here, everybody gets a free account with this, but pro tip is you have to log in with the company email, because the company email, you don't go log in with the email that you have with the association, whatever it might be, but the company email gives you these templates that you actually can then go create, that they put together for us. So I can literally write an offer in less than 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes to, definitely less than 10, but 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and I'm done. I written it, it's good, because I already have everybody already, saved. Now the company will do the templates for you, but you want to go in and save those templates so you can put in your favorite title representation. You want to put in like 50-50 this, your, home warranty, put things that you actually want to put in there directly that sets you up. I knew an agent that was selling probably 15 houses a year and did not know that she could actually go put in some templates. I showed her the templates. It just sped her up and she was like, wow. So there's some classes on this recorded on All In with Eric Hatch, but we could probably have one coming up soon as well. Obviously, guys, DocuSign. Again, these DocuSigns and these templates and stuff, we probably only used 50% of what's actually in here. There's so many other cool things in here. I've been dying to maybe go in and actually do a recording and do it on the highlight, where I could highlight with yellow as I'm going through. I mean, that kind of seems kind of fun and everything. So that would be something that I would definitely make sure you're using. For me, I know that Moxie works for Century 21. They've got a really cool, a cloud, a CMA kind of deal. I use Cloud CMA. I usually had one in the back room. I don't have it here, but I put it behind plastic. So I like to, put it behind, I got a binder machine, and it's got a nice plastic front, and it goes in there. It like heats it, holds it. If you got one of those little binding ones with the 3 comb stuff, you can have that too, but go with the new binding one. And then I just take it with them, and people just go, wow, this is so impressive. I've never seen like it. I've only actually, it was the first time recently, was the only first time when another agent, or no, a seller that I'm going to list their home on Monday, she sent me a Cloud CMA and said, hey, this is what an agent sent me about 2 years ago. That's the first time I've ever seen a competition of somebody providing some type of presentation like that ever, in like 6-10 years since I've been using Cloud CMA. So just set yourself apart and show, because you'll get all these wows and wows, and it's like, wow, no one else brought this presentation to me, which surprises me. So utilize that, and then, they're amazing. So I don't know if I have one set up, but it'll probably take a little bit too much to load. But if you haven't seen Cloud CMA, go check it out. I don't know if I'm paying for that. I'm not really sure. I know Moxie Works is free for the C21. I'm not sure what Coldwell Banker is utilizing. Folio by Ametree. This does cost, I think, $34 a month or something like that, but it's basically a calendar. You don't really have to do this. You could totally have a Gmail calendar, but I like, sorry to keep picking on Amber and Jim. That's the only pictures of people I see. I could go down here. Eddie. Okay, we'll pick on Eddie for a minute, or Kim. All right. So if I actually on Ametree or on Folio, if I get into Eddie's escrow, or Eddie's my buyer, I then can actually go to Folio, and I can put in all of their information. Like, here's the buyer's information. Here's like our 17 days for inspection. Here's our 3 days to get our money in for our deposit. Here is our loan contingency removal date. And so it's basically a calendar of events that I could go into Ametree. I put it in there and said, oh, hey, Eddie, we've got our home inspection on the 1st of February, and that's great. Will that work for you? Yes. And I could go put in 1st of February, 6 o'clock, and then it actually links to my Gmail account, which is really cool. And so then it's just an opportunity for people who, too often, even when you send them an invitation for Ametree, and I send the other agent, I send the escrow officer, I send, everyone, the lender, and they are all on the same page. And so it's just easier for them. But it's surprising to me when you get a buyer or a seller goes, now, what day are we closing again? It's like, well, it's in your calendar. So make sure you tell them that you're sending the calendar invite. They accept the calendar invite. So anytime I change something, then it gets changed. But also just remember to make sure you change something, because if we have a delay in escrow or something, you forget to go do that, and or you have an extension of escrow, and then all of a sudden they panic and say, are we closing today? The calendar says we're closing today. Oh no, sorry. Remember last week we extended it for 7 days. Oh, that's right. So make sure you're updating that as well. Okay. I'm going to show you how to save a ton of money. So those who are new, brand new, or seasoned, this one right here, which I absolutely love, is Box Brownie. So they're out of Australia. Super fun company. And these are all these companies that you actually get to meet when you're going to like the events of Blue or Century 21, conventions and those type of things. So this is a company where I can just send in basically a picture. This is what I sent them. I take all my own pictures. I don't have, I do tell people that I take the pictures. It goes, I want professional photography. Well, I said, it is professional. I take it and then I give it to a professional and they edit it, they edit the picture. So if I want like a nice night shot or something of that nature there too, or like in here, and these are literally, what, $1.50 a picture or something. So most of the time we're doing like $25 to $35 worth of pictures by me taking them and then sending them to Box Brownie. If you put them in at night, you'll have them back the next morning. They seem to be faster, probably because they're less houses, but 24-hour turnaround. And sometimes on the front picture, I'm getting them back in about 2-3 hours. So, but I usually put them in at the evening, and I'll have them very first thing in the morning because Australia is different time zone. But you can see they kind of take the shadows out of different things and make them a little bit brighter, and kind of they can change, like on landscaping too. They can put a little bit more light and green grass because maybe it's in the winter or things of that nature. Oh yeah, the fireplace. I don't know if I saw that, but they do the TVs. Thank you for that. Did they do that on that one right there? Yeah, see, they lit this fireplace right there, if you can see that on that one, and they actually put, something on the TVs, or they light I don't know if I have the fireplace on this one, right there, see in the bottom right. So they put the fireplace. You can see how mine's all really dark and brown over there and kind of ugly and black TV, and then they kind of make it nice and bright and pretty.
I don't know.
So nothing to cost. Oh, can you DocuSign that offer, please, that we got? Thank you. So we've got, oh, we're going to counter offer it though. Sorry, guys. Teresa had a flat tire. Poor thing. $47,500. Okay. Counter the price only. $47,500. Okay. Thank you. No other terms. All the same. All right. Thank you, Teresa. Good morning. Now, mind you, the flat tire was last night, so she's in a much better mood this morning. So. Oh, you got a speeding ticket this morning. Wow, you're really having a great. Oh, I see it. Jessica's kind of 23 over. All right, then just put it, okay, nice. All right, I keep telling her to slow down, but she's just so excited to get into work to work with me. So just send me the bill. I'm happy to help you. All right. Okay, that just lost my train of thought there. All right, so, all right, let's see. Okay, so let's see. Who do we have? Anybody in Grass Valley or Auburn? I think everybody else is out of the area, right? Most everybody is. Okay. Let me share a couple things because I'll share kind of some things that I utilize. These both do cost a little bit of money. I can't remember Altos, what is $50, $40, $35. Keeping Current Matters, I think, is $99. But these two are the most amazing market information you can get down to your city, your county. Altos Research. See, I don't have that. I love it. So I have Auburn, Colfax, Forest Hill, Grass Valley. I can share it, promote it, link it. So you can come into here and it will basically, it's every 7 days. So this is 7 days. So like on the graphs and stuff that they actually get, these are every little dot every 7 days. So how many, are people, relistings, how many, what the inventory is doing, what's the medium rate, what's the days on market. So it's really nice to show them. So when I go to a listing presentation, I can do this. If I actually get a buyer or a seller who's wanting to maybe sell down the road, I'm dropping them on here, dropping them completely on here so then they can actually see what the needle's doing, what the market's doing, what the last changes were. There is a 2-page PDF copy of basically a cheat sheet of basically how to read these reports that I send those to them as well and say, I'm going to send those over to you. But these are houses that maybe you'll have, you know, this normalcy, but see, it looks like that we had like a couple people actually, you know, have relisted. Can you grab this for me? Please? It's an 801 number. Thank you. You know, price decreases. I like that you got, you know, there, what this was doing, and you know, now so you can see there's less happening. So before there was more. So there's some different things that are kind of fun to kind of watch. And so and you can just put this in whatever city, you know, it doesn't look like I have really a limit of what cities I can do. I can just add another city if I wanted to do another city in Rough and Ready, Penn Valley, Meta Vista, Grass Valley. And so it's kind of fun. And so these are pinpoints this a little bit more. I get Keeping Current Matters. I get to do all my little videos and stuff and get a lot of information. It's more national stuff, but there's graphs and things that you can do, and you can do little videos and stuff. So those are great. I do subscribe to HomeBot. And what's nice about Altus and HomeBot is like today, I got a text this morning saying who actually just opened. And now I can see one of these other gentlemen of a future listing. He's actually opened it twice this week of actually looking at more information about the market. So who do you think I should call? I should call that guy. HomeBot does the same thing. It's kind of a glorified Zillow, pretty much like a Zestimate, but I do like it. Not really sure if I'm a real fan of the dark colors. When you open up, it's black and it's kind of hard to read a little bit, but HomeBot's great. So I can actually see who is. So all my, you know, everybody who I sell a house to, then they go into HomeBot so they can kind of get a feel of what that is. They can request. It says, hey, request a CMA. So every once in a while, if they get it, they request a CMA. Do you think that maybe if they requested a CMA, that maybe maybe they want to talk to me? So that's important, just so they're always able to get a hold of you. Okay. All right. So important on that. So those are just two things. I think HomeBot does cost a little bit, $40, $30, $40 a month, maybe, but it's an opportunity for my sellers to kind of keep on what they're doing. All right, so this right here is kind of where I go for some cheap postcards. 55printing.com. They're like, I could get 250 postcards for 16 cents a piece. I haven't price checked them for a while, but I haven't seen anything cheaper. So we've used Vistaprint. We used Vistaprint the other day on something like really quick. But you know, important just to you know, find some places. I know Express Docs, if you guys haven't been there. Shout out to our marketing. Please use the marketing, you know, totally utilize them. Can I get a couple of those little brochures up there, pretty please? Yeah, this is, you know, these are brochures that shout out to Prisma is who we actually use. Oh, just one or two is fine, but these are like brochures and stuff, like utilize them. I mean, these are things that they've designed, so they've designed my postcards. They've actually designed my vendor, you know, publications. Now they'll actually put it together. You can actually ask them to give you access to their Canva file. So you could say they get you about 90% there, and then you can actually tweak it kind of yourself. So here's like my loyalty program that we actually have here too, that they kind of started creating. You can see it's all kind of branded in similar colors and stuff. Feel free to say, hey, can I get some things like Eric has, and tweak it, put it to your own, and you know, do that. So they'll even design a postcard, because they did this postcard for us. Didn't they do that one too? Yeah, so they designed a postcard for a probate postcard. Then we just sent that artwork into our postcard company. Prospect Now, I've used them years ago. Now I'm doing some things a little bit different, but they are a great company that allows you to target, and they even actually mail things for you on a monthly basis as well. I use Land Voice for my expired listings. It does cost a little bit of money, but my expireds, my FSBOs, you can actually, there's 3 different levels here, but I actually can actually put in, which I did the other day. A lead came in and I called the number and I went, it said Sandy and it was supposed to be Mary or something like that. And I go, hey, I don't know if this is you. So I actually went into Land Voice, put in their information and their home information. It's about 60% right that you can find their phone numbers, and their phone number popped up. Well, I saw that she missed one digit. She missed a digit on her phone number. So then I changed it in my CRM system, called that number, left a message, and she's on my list to call again today. So our company has spent so much money and time with Express Docs branding these information and branding some postcards already designed for you. So feel free to do that. Those who weren't here on Wednesday, something new that I'm going to be doing on my just sold postcards is I'm going to be sending those out to the surrounding neighborhood. I'm going to putting my client's picture on it. with their testimonial. If I don't have a picture, I'll put their testimonial and say, I'll just say, hey, dear neighbors, please use Eric Catch because this is my experience with him. So just again, something else a little bit different than what you normally see. So that's something we're doing. I make sure you've got your favorite title companies that are out there. I know we don't have a company-owned title company. I know some of you guys do in Nevada and stuff. We don't have one here local. I definitely want to get reviews. So I use, I rate my agent. It gives me the reviews on Google. It sends them. I have a whole nother class on what I basically do. That's going to be at Summit for sure. That we'll be discussing that at Summit, what I do to generate your buyers to continue and your sellers to continue to come back and come back and come back. This one does cost me a little bit of money every year on HuntWise. It's an app. I really, really love it. It's a hunting app. If you want to look at some other ones, that's great. But when you're out with a buyer and they basically say, hey, where's the property corners? And you go, I have no idea. And so I already have this already logged in. I go, hey, let's look. And I tell them, I say, hey, this isn't really super, super accurate, but at the same time, I could go, it's about right. We'll walk out there and go, it's right about here. And this is where the line, and the least you can see is the yard, or was that back there in front. And so HuntWise is wonderful. Love, love, love that one too. I definitely use Venmo. I use it for paying my vendors. So if my vendors actually go out and like I got a lady cleaning a house today, I'll pay them that day. I know that's a little crazy. Some of you guys might want to, like, if I deal with so many probate and people that are not local, that I'm not going to call them up and say, hey, Walker, can you pay $200 or $2,000 today with our trash out? And then 2 weeks later, my trash out guy calls me and goes, Eric, I haven't got paid for that yet. I shared the story before when I actually got a new listing in Lake of the Pines and I needed all these quotes of trash out, carpet, cleaning. I made call or text my vendors about, hey, can I get you here? Can I get you there? Get you there? Within 2 days, they were all there, lined up, and did all the work that I needed them to do because I pay them the day or the day after. Yes, I know, like we just did $2,000 clean out and a $1,200 clean out, and that's a little bit of a gamble for a lot of us to pay and go, am I going to get this money back? So make sure you put it on your folder, and so you have that agreement. But I pay my people super quick, and then they actually jump and go super quick to get it done. Instacard, make sure that you do have some type of Instacard. You can buy a dot card for $24 if you want to carry this around, and then they can scan this. Now I have something I have this too, but I'm using more the Instacard because I can actually, now it's on my phone and they can scan my phone, so I don't have to carry another card around. I will absolutely recommend that you pay $25 and go get a Google review card, because I got that in the first 2-3 days that I got it in the mail. I went around, showed it to a bunch of people, and then they actually gave me a bunch of reviews. I had a vendor party one evening, and I just said, hey guys, here's these new cards, and 2 people gave me a review right then and there. They scanned it, gave me a review. So definitely a little Google card. You can just Google it for a review. What is it called? Something dot card. It's not dot. That's a dot card, but there's another name that I saw. But just do review Google card, and it will pop up for you on that. So that's important. I like word swag for any type of ad or something that you're doing for a picture and you want to like post something. And word swag, I love it because I can put words right over the top, and it customizes it for Instagram, Facebook, and all of the different platforms on that too. And then I also do the Facebook Business Suite. So then I don't have to go to every single one and say who's actually responding to me. I can actually go right onto Business Suite and say, okay, I got 2 responses, and it'll show me where they came from, and 2 comments, 2 messages, and I can actually see them right then and there, which is quite nice. All right, perfect. All right, so I think we're good there. I think that is where we're going to stop. So I'm going to stop the recording, and if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask me, then feel free to do that. Sure, you want to stop recording to the cloud.